know it's crazy, right? To help my family, I gotta leave it. To fix the law, I gotta break it.
You've got to, so our kids can have that choice.
Thank you, young man.
Incredibles 2. Alright, so Incredibles 2 is the sequel to the 2000 and something first movie, Incredibles. This movie, it brings back director Brad Bird, who just finished doing some live action movies with Mission Impossible 4 and that Tomorrowland movie. And he's back to doing animations, and we have Incredibles 2, a sequel, which I've been wanting to see for a long time. Because here's the thing with Pixar. Pixar doesn't make a lot of sequels. But for some reason, the Toy Stories, great sequels. Those movies deserve to be made. But you're telling me we have 2 sequels to Cars, a Finding Nemo sequel, which really did not even need a sequel, and then you have a prequel to Monsters Incorporated, which I think is the most overrated Pixar film of all time. And we're finally getting a Incredibles 2, whatever. So Incredibles 2 takes place right after the events of the first Incredibles movie. You have a character who is who's trying to bring superheroes back. So they get Elastigirl, because Elastigirl's powers is kind of her, basically the way they pitch it in the movie is that her powers aren't going to cause as much damage as Mr. Incredible or Frozone, which makes actually a lot of sense. So Elastigirl has to go off and be a superhero and try to bring supers back, while Mr. Incredible stays at home with the dad, with the kids, and tries to be a good dad. And I have to say, I really, really enjoyed this movie. First off, it's not better than the original Incredibles, and that's not a sin against it, because how many sequels are as good as the original? But I will say, this is the best Pixar sequel that is not Toy Story. And I have to say, this movie was really, as much of a pun it was incredible. And one thing I really liked about the movie was, I mean, the action of the movie is good. And one thing I really like about the Incredible movies, it feels like a superhero movie, like really gets down to the dirt of, like, if you have a mix between the Watchmen, you have a mix of the X-Men universe, and then you also have that mix into, like, the Captain America, like Civil War, the Accords, and all that. The whole idea of superhero law. I mean, The Incredibles really is a great mix of all that, but it also feels like a great James Bond, like Mission Impossible, which, you know, Brad Bird directed the 4th movie of. The one thing, though, I mean, my only real negative of this movie is it's a little predictable of the villain. You're just like, okay, that's the main villain, that's what's going to be the story. But be honest with you, how many Marvel movies have we seen that are really predictable, but people still love? Captain America Civil War, for example. Awesome movie. That movie is great. But that story is so predictable. But people consider it one of the top 5 Marvel movies of all time. So how can Incredibles 2 be any different? And also, I really enjoyed the father element of the story, and also the characters with, like, Violet and Dash. They're dealing with life. Violet's dealing with the boy she likes, dealing with her hormones and adolescence. And then Jack was just hilarious. The baby, just all the superpowers was great. But one thing I just loved about the movie was when Mr. Incredible, he's just like, I just want to be a great dad, and then he just doesn't know how to do it. He wants to be that superhero. But I mean, I thought it was really compelling in that. And one thing I love about The Incredibles, and that's what I love about Pixar, is Pixar does not make films for kids. They make them for adults as well. And this felt like a movie. It felt for my generation, because I grew up with the Incredibles, and I absolutely love the second one. It's a great movie. So guys, I'm going to give The Incredibles an A. Awesome movie. It was incredible. Guys, have you seen Incredibles 2? Rate your thoughts, comment below, let me know. And guys, if you like this video, click that thumbs up button, subscribe to see more, tell your friends about Easy Nation. All too easy.